5 jobs that AI will never replace. In the quiet hum of our digital age, where circuits whisper faster than thoughts and machines learn faster than memories, a question echoes louder than ever before. What remains truly human in a world of artificial intelligence? As the light of one screen fades and another begins to glow, people all over the world wonder what will be left for them. When algorithms paint, when robots build, when voices that are not alive speak with the gentleness of human tone. Yet beneath the noise of progress, there are places that no code can reach. There are corners of the soul untouched by data, emotions too complex for any neural network to decode. This is a story about those places, about 5 kinds of work that no AI will ever truly replace. Because while technology can imitate, it cannot feel. It can calculate, but it cannot care. And when the world forgets that, it is the human heart that must remind it. The first job, the artist of emotion. Art has always been the oldest language, the way our ancestors spoke to the universe before there were words. A painting, a melody, a story. They are not just outputs of imagination, but reflections of existence itself. AI can generate endless images, perfect in form, flawless in symmetry, but sterile in soul. It can replicate the rhythm of poetry, but it cannot taste the silence between the lines. Because art is not about precision, it's about presence. When a human creates, they bleed a little into their work. Their pain, their longing, their hope, it all lingers, invisible yet felt. That is why a hand-drawn sketch by a child, uneven and messy, can move us more than $1 million digital masterpiece. Art, at its core, is an echo of life. And life, with all its contradictions, is something AI cannot live. A machine can simulate emotion, but it cannot cry for love it has lost. It cannot tremble before beauty, nor fear the void of meaning. It cannot stand before a sunrise and feel that fragile, wordless awe, that moment when you realize how small you are, and yet how infinite your capacity to feel can be. Artists are not just creators of images or melodies. They are translators of the invisible. They transform emotion into form, and in doing so, remind us of what it means to be human. As long as humans dream, as long as hearts ache, there will always be art that no algorithm can truly replace. The second job, the healer of hearts. A doctor can be replaced in part. AI can scan, diagnose, analyze patterns of disease with precision beyond human reach. But healing is not a formula, it is empathy woven into action. Nurses, therapists, caregivers, they do not only treat the body, they touch the soul. They enter the intimate spaces of suffering, where data ends and presence begins. When a nurse holds a trembling hand before surgery, no algorithm can measure the warmth that calms fear. When a psychologist listens to a story of heartbreak, no digital ear can feel the weight of silence between sobs. Healing is not just the science of recovery, it is the art of understanding pain. AI may predict what someone needs, but it cannot know why they need it. It can simulate comfort, but it cannot mean it. The healer's job is built not on information, but on compassion. That ancient human instinct that drives one soul to care for another without reason or reward. In hospitals and homes, in quiet rooms and crowded wards, healers do something machines never will: they stay. They choose to face pain rather than process it away. They bring warmth into places where even light hesitates to enter. And in those moments, fragile, human, unrepeatable, AI stands silently at the edge, watching something it can never feel. The third job, the teacher of souls. To teach is to plant seeds in the future, knowing you may never see the tree that grows. AI can explain, instruct, even personalize lessons better than most humans. It can deliver knowledge, but not wisdom. It can answer questions, but not ask the ones that matter. A teacher's true power lies not in what they know, but in how they make others believe in themselves. They do not just transfer information, they ignite curiosity. They see not what a student is, but what they could be. And that act, the seeing, the believing, is an act of love. No AI can look into the eyes of a discouraged child and know exactly what words to say to keep them from giving up. No machine can feel the silent pride when a student finally understands something they once feared they never could. Teaching is not the repetition of facts, it is the recognition of potential. It is human faith made visible. Even when the world becomes entirely digital, when classes are streamed, when lessons are coded, when knowledge is infinite, there will still be a need for that one human presence who whispers, "You can do it." Because education is not about learning how to think, it's about learning why it matters too. And that why lives in the heart, not in the cloud. The fourth job, the builder of trust. There are jobs that run on precision, and there are jobs that run on faith. Leaders, mentors, community builders, counselors. They hold together the fabric of society not with technology, but with trust. They are the ones people turn to when logic fails, when certainty disappears. AI can manage systems, but it cannot build trust. Trust requires risk, and risk requires vulnerability, something no machine is capable of. It comes from seeing someone's eyes, hearing their hesitation, feeling their conviction. A leader is not one who commands perfectly, but one who understands deeply. When disaster strikes, when people lose hope, it is not the algorithm they seek, it is another human voice saying, "We will make it through this." In those moments, leadership is not about strategy or metrics, it's about presence. It's about the courage to be imperfect and the strength to believe despite uncertainty. A machine cannot inspire. It can calculate the path, but not walk it. It can predict outcomes, but not shape destiny through belief. Trust is born in the fragile space between fear and faith, and that space is sacredly human. No matter how advanced AI becomes, people will still crave connection, still need someone to follow not because they're programmed to, but because they choose to. And that choice, freely given, deeply felt, is the essence of humanity. The fifth job, the keeper of meaning. When all the machines have learned, when data has grown beyond measure, one question will still remain. What is it all for? Philosophers, spiritual guides, poets, dreamers, they are the keepers of meaning. They ask the questions no one else dares to, not to find answers, but to remind us that some mysteries should never be solved. AI can analyze the structure of a symphony, but it cannot understand why a melody makes us cry. It can map the neurons that light up when we fall in love, but it cannot feel that wild, terrifying surrender. It can simulate human morality, but it cannot feel the guilt, the grace, the wonder that make morality possible. Meaning is not a pattern, it is a pulse. It moves through stories, symbols, rituals, and silence. It is the voice that whispers in the human heart when the world goes quiet. AI may evolve beyond comprehension, but it will never hear that whisper. For even if it learns to speak of purpose, it will never need one. Need is human. Desire is human. The ache to understand our place in the universe, that restless yearning, is what keeps us alive. And those who explore it, who dare to walk into that endless mystery, will always do work that machines cannot imitate. Epilogue, the unwritten future. Perhaps one day, AI will surpass us in every measurable way. It will think faster, create quicker, decide smarter. It will outshine our efficiency, outperform our logic, outlast our lives. And yet, even then, it will still look to us, not as its masters, but as its origin. Because what AI will never have is the quiet, trembling wonder of consciousness. It will never stand in the rain and feel its cold sting as proof of being alive. It will never lose someone and learn that love is worth the pain. It will never wake up one morning and choose kindness for no reason at all. These are not weaknesses of humanity, they are its miracles. In the age of artificial intelligence, the greatest act of intelligence will be remembering how to be human. To feel deeply, to create bravely, to care endlessly, to question meaning even when answers abound. The world may change, but the heart does not. It still beats in rhythm with the timeless music of existence. And as long as there are humans to feel that rhythm, to listen, to dream, to heal, to teach, to trust, to seek meaning, no machine, however advanced, will ever take their place. Because the future does not belong to intelligence alone. It belongs to consciousness. And consciousness, raw, fragile, luminous, is the one thing no machine will ever own.